Welcome back. We've had a few interesting tries at this. This is my third try to get the microphone working right, so let's see how we do. Uh, we've been talking about beveling methods, and today we're going to talk about the third method, which is called double beveling. Double beveling is when you bevel both sides of the line. And what it is for an inside right angle. You'll see right here, I had to double bevel both sides. Same thing here. Right here, because that's an inside 90 and inside 90. All of those places that are an inside 90, you want to double bevel. Up here, along the bank, where the grass is coming in and the dirt's coming up, it's a little bit more than a 90, but I double beveled here to help give that look where one is not floating on top of another, where one isn't floating on top of the other. The 90s and the double beveling, it will probably be your second most used method. And we're going to take a look at double beveling. Let's pretend this is a room. This is your floor, your ceiling, your left wall, and your right wall. We're going to double bevel. One way to double bevel is to use a double beveler. This one is number B997. I'll tell you up front, it's not my favorite double beveler, but let's see what we do. We've got this beveled. Another way is I like this double beveler. You can see that it's radiused. It runs better for me. I don't have as many problems. And there is one side that's a little bit more pointed. So I'll take that and lead. And you see how much cleaner it is? That's one more way to double bevel. Another way to double bevel is to use your figure beveler that you use in most places. And what you do is you just bevel up one side of the line and then spin it around, and we're going to bevel up the other side of the line. So now we've got that double bevel. Another way is to use a modeling spoon. You can come in. What I do is I use my thumb and my hand, so it gives me a little more control when I'm running my modeling spoon. So you'll come in, put it on its side, and just press down and come down. And then spin it around. You can push or pull, whichever is more comfortable for you. So now we've got the wall that we've still got to bevel. The other way to do it is just to use, let me get a smooth one, a beveler, a regular floral beveler. And we'll spin it around. Now we've got our double bevels. But when we look at it, we can see the halos here, and it doesn't have a good look to it. We need to take these halos, double bevels, and bring them out here to fade them out, fade these up. When you fade them, you can use a larger figure beveler. You can even use the figure beveler that you were using before and just come in and fade it out or feather it. And what I'm doing here is I'm leaning it back here just a little bit. You can see it's radiused, because if I go straight up here, I'm going to leave a mark. So I'm leaning it back just a little bit. But you have to be careful too, that if you lean it too far back, you're going to leave a mark from the point. So we're going to feather it out. We'll spin it around. And here, to get in the corner, I lean it back and use that point. And then walk it back. And I want to be clear with you, these methods are not my own. They come out of Al Stolman's figure carving, pictorial carving book. So we talked about that. You can use a matting beveler to come in. And bring it out. And again, we're feathering it out. To give us that look of the inside 90. depending how big your piece is, it's going to vary how much you feather. But the biggest thing is not having that halo. So now we've got 2 lines done. Another way is with your modeling spoon again. You're going to come in and just push it back. To remove that halo and feather it out. And I'm doing this pretty quickly so I don't waste your time. You'd take your time and be a lot more clean with it. You could use a hair shader. You just have to be a little bit more careful. And this isn't the easiest, but it can be done. And if you don't have the tools, this will give you a way to do it. And what I'm doing is walking it down the edge first. And then I'll come in and walk it sideways on the bigger, flatter portion. And I am leaning it a little bit. And then I'd come in and just feather it out a little bit more. So you've got that. And I talked about a matting beveler. And that's probably my favorite. It's the cleanest and easiest. And quickest. But don't say just because you don't have this tool, you can't do it. I've just shown you a number of ways you can. as my dad used to say, work smart, not harder. But when you're young, sometimes you have to work harder because you don't have the tools or you don't have the knowledge at this point. But it will come. Okay. Now, if we look at that, it has more of a look of, the floor and the ceiling, and I would take more time and feather these out, clean up the lines a little bit. But hopefully that will give you an idea of double beveling. It's for these 90s is the biggest place. Right here, we're going to talk about beveling, and I'm going to use a regular beveler so that you can see what it looks like, because a texture will help. This one we're going to bevel down. And when we look at it, you can see it looks like the boulder's hanging up off it. Doesn't quite look natural. If we come in and double bevel, and here I'm just going to use my figure carver, and I'm going to lean it a little bit, and you can hear I'm not hitting real hard because I'm just trying to get a place that will collect some antique and give me the look of that joint, that 90. And then, come in, feather it out a little bit so we don't have that halo on both sides. And these, the walls and these, I've used these out of Al Stolman's Pictorial carving, so that way you can see from Al Stolman, not from me. Then we'll come into the boulders, and what we'll do is we'll double bevel. But you see, with this long point, we're going to double bevel from here to here. When we have a boulder, we're going to double bevel a smaller portion, okay? And then we'll feather it out. And then we end up with that. If we bevel down, it's going to give you the look like it's floating. Now let's go back to the picture, and we're going to look a little bit more at the picture and look at those areas that I double beveled again. Can you see here? I double beveled so that I could get that look. Same thing here. I beveled this way and I beveled this way. I had another because this was a steel band, so I beveled the wood part of the carriage back just a little bit here because this was in front of it. So when I double beveled this, brought it over, feathered it out, and then I beveled this. Here, I beveled the spokes, I beveled the wheel, and then I came in and beveled the 90 between the wheel and the spoke and feathered it out. Same thing here, I feathered it. I didn't have as far to feather here, and you can kind of see as far as I was able to feather it. Sometimes you'll do a little bit, because right here I ran a double bevel on the hub. Double beveling will probably be your second most used beveling method to give you that realism. I hope this was helpful to you. Have a blessed day, and I look forward to being together in the next video.